Hi everyone, welcome to the show. Be.Here.Now. I'm so excited. I've got guest host Tina Godin on the air with us tonight, and we will be talking about creating better habits and routines. So it's funny, oftentimes when we come up with the topic, you have no idea the amount of opportunity that exists until you create it, and then all of a sudden you're shown the signs. So we'll talk a little bit about that as we progress within the show, but I'd like to give a little intro to Tina. Tina is a professional psychic medium and spiritual guide. She's been a medium all of her life, but her connection to spirit and angels intensified a few years ago after the death of a loved one. And she works with channeling Eric and also works in crime and missing person cases. She's also a level 1 Reiki practitioner, continuing her education in Reiki healing. So to learn more about Tina, you can check out her website at messagesofcomfort.com. And I'll just give a little bit of background about myself as well. I am an evidential medium and intuitive coach. I work with my spirit teams and your loved ones to help you move past any blocks in the human experience in order to fulfill your soul's purpose in life. And you can reach me on my website at heatherfallona.com. Or I'm also located on Facebook. So just type in Heather Fallona and you'll find me there as well. And so Tina, you and I actually, that's how we kind of got connected, was through the channeling Eric, and we're both working on in the missing persons and crime cases. And I just want to, if you can tell everyone a little bit about your background as it relates to that or anything, and just kind of your passions around this area.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Thank you for having me, Heather. It's such an honor to be here. And yes, we do work together a lot in the crime cases, and it's been a pleasure working with you. And so I always get nervous before these radio shows, and my my heart starts racing, and I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to say about myself? But I've been doing this all my life, and I put it away a little bit, probably between I would say my late teens and 20s, and, just kind of going through life. And but I always knew I had a connection to spirit, especially really young. I was communicating with spirit, seeing spirit, and, it scared me at that point, and I didn't really know what to do with that. And so I just kind of put that away. And, especially growing up with my belief systems, it was taught to me that, that is wrong, and not to dive into that. After the loss of my dad, I think we're going on 6 years now, things started to open up for me. And then a few years after that, with the loss of my fiance, that's when it just kind of, blew right open. There was a part of me at that time, I believed, but there was always this self-doubt. And so once I went through, the loss of my fiance and just wanting to reach out and getting that connection, things just started happening, signs and, feathers all over the place, and just, completely just, and not just finding a feather, just like on the ground. I mean, in really odd places where that is not going to happen. And so it opened me right up to believing again. And that's when, Eric Medhus came into my life, just Googling grief, because I was wanting to learn how to deal with the grief, because I'd never experienced anything that painful to that degree. And so wanting to do some self-care, and learning how to navigate through this grief, I ended up finding channeling Eric, and that's been just phenomenal and fantastic to my healing. And so it took off since then. I mean, I ended up taking some channeling courses with Mimi Bonhomme, and that opened up some more for me. And now I'm actually going to be taking some courses. It's a one-on-one intensive with Colby Rebel. And so, we'll see where that goes. So it's been lovely.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. So actually interesting, Michael was on last week, and he actually worked with Mimi as well. And Now, you are actually going to be doing your own class as well, correct? I saw that. That's fantastic.
Yes. Yes, I'm going to be teaching.
Oh, my
gosh. Starting in January with some fellow mediums and who are fantastic. And we're just teaching a mediumship one-on-one course, so that's going to be really, really fun, and it's really high vibe. So I'm really looking forward to that, too.
Yeah, it's interesting. I find oftentimes when you do this as well, when you teach others, you learn. All teachers are learners as well, and so it's almost like you're forced to look at things from a different perspective as a teacher, and so it really kind of solidifies. So that'll just be amazing. And I think as mediums, we're always growing. Humans, we're always growing and evolving, and so it's all good, really, when it comes to that. So that's amazing. So, yeah, I can relate a lot to, I've always felt a connection with you, and hearing, the details behind that, I understand now, because I have a very, very similar story. So I don't think I've heard that from you before. So, yeah, so it's interesting. With the exception, fortunately, and I'm sorry that you had to go through the losses. I haven't had it to the extent that you've had. So, but I understand the upbringing without a doubt, is where we feel like, we start to learn what's quote unquote right versus wrong, or, acceptable versus non-acceptable, and we sort of kind of back away from those things. So I definitely understand where you're coming at with that. So fantastic. So so curious in terms of the topic for this week. Talk to us a little bit about just anything that you can relate to the creating of better habits and routine, and kind of what you've learned from that, or if you're it's a work in progress, right? But speak a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But for me, it always starts with the mind and the thoughts that you're thinking. In order to create those habits and bring it into physicality, we really just have to be sending out and thinking, the thought. So, like, for instance, back in my 20s, I used to do a lot of hiking, and I hiked Mount Washington a couple of times, and this one time we were doing Tuckerman's Ravine. And I was so overwhelmed just by that hike alone. And, even though I mentally prepared myself, oh, you can do it, and with that self-talk, when I got to the mountain and, you're looking up and you're looking at the map of what you've got to accomplish, it was just, you almost like it's a human, like, natural feeling to get intimidated by that, right? And so you're thinking, how in the world am I going to get this all accomplished? How am I going to do this? And so, it was at that moment, one step at a time, right? So I look down at my feet and I just take my time, and I just one step at a time, and then you finally get there. And so rather than looking at whatever situation that you're in, rather than looking at it as a whole, where you've got to go, what you've got to accomplish, it's just really babies, and it's just really one step at a time. And so when we're thinking about creating healthy habits for ourselves, it's the changing of the mind. First of all, you've got to, got to cheer yourself on. Yes, you can do it. And, just do little habits, and it adds up. And I know, like, for a while there, because I was in the habit of exercising daily, and, life got so busy, and I kind of neglected that. And so getting back into the healthy routine of walking, I'll tell you, the first day that I was out, it was, it felt great, right? You're out in nature, you're breathing some great air in, running through your body. But the next day I was so sore, but I went back to it the next day, and I didn't overdo it. And and now it's been a couple of weeks getting into that healthy habit, and I feel wonderful. And it's totally made a difference in my sleep patterns, in every, even in my eating habits and everything like that. So it definitely, interferes with one another. And, once you're doing all that, you feel great. And, so you're able to accomplish more things.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting what you're saying. It's actually quite profound. You're right. Oftentimes we do something with the expectation of, I just want to get there. And so I think we often see kind of like we want the quick fix, or we want the before and afters to see, and it's like, okay, well, it's not getting there. And so, but you're right, it is the baby steps. I think the only thing I would say that would kind of that's really important is it is about the baby steps, but it's also knowing your why. So if you're doing it for the intent purpose of having immediate results, well, that's not a good why. Like, make sure your intent is good. And I think you'll find that it's interesting. A lot of people, when they go down that path, that journey, or any journey for that matter, it's oftentimes there was a catalyst, right? There was something, they had a heart attack, or they had some major event where it's like, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And you're right. You have to start somewhere. So it's very interesting. It's all about, I'm a process person by trade. And it's all about the steps within the process, but understanding the why. What are you trying to solve for? What is the goal? That is most key. So thank you for sharing that. For me in particular, so I think a lot. I'm in my mental space a lot, and so I'm always kind of dissecting things. And as of recent, I had kind of these epiphanies around, and I've been trying, the past few days to kind of wrap them up in terms of how to best articulate what I've been going through in the way that I see that I kind of creating better habits and things that I can do. And being a full-time working mother, I've got a full-time job, 3 kids, I'm married, life's busy. Plus I do, this is my passion, and so I fit this in as well. And one of the things that really just hit me is, energy, right? Everything's energy, and it's about how we spend our energy. And so for me, a couple of things that became very obvious, like yesterday, I went on a little, not quite a full day, but almost a partial day hiatus from Facebook. Now, I'm not saying that it's like it's a bad thing, but I realized, to me, it's Facebook. A lot of people get there's a little bit of a hesitation to go out in public sometimes. Like, you wouldn't go to a crowded mall just without being kind of like guarding of your space, or aware of like, okay, am I in the space to be going to a mall? Do I really want to deal with that? And it occurred to me that Facebook can be very similar to that. Like, it's putting your energy out there. You're taking on the energies of other people based off what they're saying, and you're putting your energy out there. So, I committed. Like, normally I'd kind of wake up and go on Facebook, and I was like, not going to do it today. I'm going to, go inward. And I waited like till the end of the day. I finally went on, and I had a really, really good day. I just have to say. Now, again, not that it's horrible, but it's just I wanted to be mindful and do kind of a little practice to see what that would look like, and it really solidified the fact of our energy and around time management, what we spend our energy on. So to me, that's the essentials of time management. The other thing that really occurred to me is, being that I've got other commitments in life, and quite frankly, next to my family, that's really the most important thing. At the end of the day, that's who I owe everything to, and that's where I need to be, if nothing else. And as a result, I feel like a lot of times we as mothers or women, I don't know, we often want to be all things to all people. And I had a situation this weekend where it just occurred to me, you know what? I don't have to apologize for being wanting to spend my energy in certain places, be very unapologetic about where you expend that energy. So it was a very mature moment for me, I have to say. And I was like, yeah. And then I felt, I kind of felt bad, but it was like, you know what? I don't need to feel bad. Because I don't want to put that energy out to the world as well. So I just, here's what I want and here's what I don't want. So anyway, so that was a big lesson for me, and I think the biggest thing, especially with the new year, we all look at, creating better habits, and so I think we can all learn from that. So, all right, so good stuff. We've got quite a few calls, so I am going to kick it off here, and we'll get our first caller. And I see one that has called in last week, and we didn't get to that person, so I am committing to making that right this time. So let's see. I'm going to bring in the first caller. Here we go. And we've got area code 985. You're on. And what is your name and where are you calling from?
Mercedes from Louisiana.
Mercedes from Louisiana. Perfect. Okay, so what, Mercedes, is there a particular area that you wanted to focus on, or any questions that you had?
Job. I've been a stay-at-home mom for 6 years now, and I'm really itching to get a job, and it just doesn't look like that's going to happen. I would like to know when.
Okay. So I tune into whenever someone calls in, I tune into the energy and see what I get. And I have to tell you, I'm just gonna kind of give it as I get it, and I don't know specifically. I'm getting an energy of a man around you. I feel like there's a strong sense of I feel. Let me try to articulate. I feel a strong sense of expectation around that. Do you understand this?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
So I feel like this is part of the. I feel like you have your wants, goals, and desires, and it potentially is in conflict with another person. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So let me ask. I understand exactly what Spirit's telling me, but I'm just asking clarification on how to work this out. Okay. So it feels like a little bit of for lack of a better term, a little bit of maybe a idealistic or old school belief system that's at play, that the expectation of maybe this is what you're supposed to be doing versus, that type of thing. So does that make sense to you? Okay. So
yes, it does.
Okay. Is this your husband?
Yes.
Okay, got it. So Spirit wants me to go there immediately and talk about that. Now I'm just asking specifically what we can do, are your I feel like do you have kids that are still in school, or what's the I don't feel like they're really young. I feel like they may be at a point where you've got more structure around for them. Do you understand this? Because they're bringing up the kids around this and his feelings around this as well. Do you have
I have
kids?
a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Got it. Okay. Because it feels like there's a sense of with you as they go to school that I've got to figure out what I want to do, because this is not there's that feeling around that as well.
Yes.
Okay. I just have to tell you what I'm getting, and you do what makes sense with that. I feel like there's a way to shift this, because it's interesting. A lot of times when we have intent, but it's in maybe direct conflict with the energy of another individual that's close to you, it creates that, it doesn't allow for that space of change to occur. So, oftentimes where you get two people that are fully aligned on something, that it becomes serendipitous and things just unfold as they will. But it's almost like it becomes at this, energy level where there's a little bit of a block to it. So I don't see that it's a situation where it's not going to happen, but I do feel like it's going to take some time. I feel like there's something where do you have a kind of let me try to think of almost like a centralized nervous system within the house, to where you kind of set up schedules and make sure everyone's running smoothly. Do you have this area set up within your house?
Yes, I do.
Okay, because they're showing me this, and your husband loves this. Do you understand this? This is something he sees this, and this is it's almost like looking at a picture of his family, because he's so proud of the organization that you put into the family and how you make it run. So on the flip side of it, he wants to acknowledge everything that you do, and he doesn't. I feel like there's going to be a little communication that you'll have to do with your husband around this, that just because I'm going and pursuing my, passions doesn't mean that I'm not going to be there as a mom, that my kids. So it's kind of like what I was talking about at the intro. It's interesting because I feel like this is something that, they'll give you the runway and that energy to kind of bless your dreams and desires, but it's the feeling of safety. And so that's what your husband is seeking with this change. He wants to feel safe. If you were to move on, he wants to feel safe, and his world will not change. So I feel like this can happen. I feel, honestly, I feel like maybe in a year or 2 years, where you really are okay, going out of the house and getting ready for work every morning. Do you understand? I feel like it may be some more time before that happens, but it will happen. Do you have a daughter that's your youngest? Your youngest is a daughter. Is that correct?
No, the youngest is my son.
Okay. Why am I showing? There's a little girl that they're bringing. No, I don't, I'm not sure what this is, but Spirit's bringing up the little girl. So is your oldest a daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. Is your husband is there there's a sweetness with the two of them connected to each other? And
Yes.
Okay, because I think it's interesting because I feel like your husband is a little bit of a worrier I don't know if he says this out loud, but he worries. Do you understand this?
Yes, he has anxiety real bad.
Yeah, he's very protective, and I feel like with the girl in particular, I feel like he might be like, that's my baby girl, or something like protect my baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about her that he's okay. So he's just so that's just emphasizing. That's just Spirit's way of confirming everything I just said. Just know that this is a fear-based thought process for him, and that once he feels comfortable in knowing that things are going to work out and his world is okay, I feel that shift will occur for you. So that's what I'm getting. So
All right, thank you.
yeah, no problem. Thank you. Oh, rambunctious. So, and I don't know, Tina, if you're getting anything to that as well.
I do. Hi, Mercedes. How are you?
I'm good, just in the process of cooking supper.
Yeah. I know, I can see. One of the first things that Spirit was showing me was your hands, like they're constantly busy all the time. So, yeah, I'm not surprised at that. That's funny. So what I was picking up, what Spirit was showing me was your creative side, and what they're telling me is how creative that you are. You have lots of ideas running around there, and you're kind of, thinking about which direction to go in, and that's what I was picking up on. I did pull a card for you, and the card that came up for you, which is no surprise, is movement, choices, and decisions. And so one of the things with that is it says, there's going to be a financial union or partnership may be present to you, and the changes that are emerging aren't some random acts of coincidences. They're all part of a positive and larger scheme. Notice the connections with everything, as this will enable you to avoid future problems and conflicts. And so that really goes hand in hand with what Heather, was picking up for you too. I am picking up the number 3, and so I'm picking up something either, in 3 months or the 3rd of the month, which is the month of March, for some changes. I'm also seeing that you working from home. I don't know if that's something you've been thinking about, but that is what Spirit is showing me. So maybe something online that you can be creative about. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah. Yep.
Fantastic. I'm so glad. There's really nothing else that there is, that they're saying other than job well done is what is coming through, and to just, trust in your intuition and believe in yourself. And again, like what Heather was saying, definitely, have a partnership with your husband, have that communication and just be, set that goal for the two of you, and all is well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're so very welcome.
Perfect. So good luck to you. The only other thing I'll leave with you, because I got this too, but I didn't. When she said it, it triggered it for me. I don't know if you're into Pinterest or something about that, but there might be something connected with like something online. So what she was just saying about doing a work from home, like an Etsy or something, I feel like there's something like with you around that. So that might be an avenue for you to take as well. But they kept bringing up Pinterest, so so for whatever that's worth. Well, good luck to you, Mercedes, and thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Okay, and our next caller is, let's see, area code 386. What is your name and where are you calling from, please?
Hello, this is Cindy. I'm calling from Florida.
Cindy from Florida. All right, what is your question for us?
I'm open to any message you have from me, from anyone in spirit, if that's okay, or do you need me to focus on a specific subject or just a message from someone?
No, that's fine. Yeah, we can do a freestyle and see what we've got here. What they're bringing up, sometimes when spirit comes through, I'm not trying to get. Is there a man as a contemporary to you? There's a man that's standing next to you. I don't know if you've lost a man. I feel like he's got shorter hair. He's coming in. It's interesting. He's just putting himself right next to you. It's weird because I feel like this may at one time been a love relationship, but maybe at some point you lost like a prior, like if this was someone you were dating at something that you may have lost, or maybe someone you went to school with. Does this make sense at all?
Yeah, I think it does. Okay. I think I know who you're talking about.
Okay. It's interesting. So the personality remains, and he's not being he's just kind of like standing next to you in support of you, but he's not really saying much. And I'm like, if you're gonna, that's great. He's here. He's acknowledging that, but he's not really saying anything much to that. Why is he bringing up now? I've gotten this reference before. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would love a message from him if you had any.
Absolutely.
For me, or
Yeah. So usually they'll, some of them will just come. Let me just see what he has to say here. So I've gotten this reference before, and I'm not certain what he's showing me, like, Magnum PI, the Magnum PI cars. So either he was into cars, his name was like I can't remember, Tom Selleck. He looked like Tom Selleck, but he's making a reference to like the Magnum PI. That car. Does that make sense to you at all? Sometimes when I get that, that's a reference to the name being Tom or Tim or something like that. He's taking me back too. Like, I feel like this is something. I feel like he just pointed behind him. Like, I feel like you would have known him quite some time ago. I want to be taken back to the 80s or something. There have been a point in time during the 80s or late 80s, early 90s that you would have known this individual. He's making me feel like he may have also known you when you were a child. Like maybe you guys grew up together. Maybe there was but he's kind of bringing you down to a little girl and bringing up that as well. I do feel like it was more of it's hard because it's like, sometimes it's like you guys may have never actually dated, but maybe you were close, and maybe it was one of those going to become that way. But do you recognize who this is? Because a lot of times when they spend time on that space, it's just more of validation. But if you're aware of who this is, I'm going to move on to what his message is.
I'm not sure now. I mean, I have a lot of people in spirit, a lot of friends. So there was a gentleman that I dated that passed back around 2002, 2003, and then there was somebody else that I didn't spend time with as a child, but I spent. It was just a friendship with him and his wife, and I was married at the time, so it was like we were, did stuff as couples all the time, and they had children that barrel raced horses, and I barrel raced horses, and so we were good friends and neighbors, and both of them passed. The husband and wife both passed, and the car thing would make sense because he drove a Corvette. His wife died first several years before him, and he just kind of went off the wagon. And I think I heard he went around a curve and hit a tree at about 100 miles an hour in his Corvette.
Got it. That's why he's bringing up the car. Because that's very profound. So that's kind of the distinction.
And I have chills. I have chills now.
Yeah, that's just his way of confirming. So he's there with you. So he's also bringing up. I feel like just one other validation. I feel like he was a little proper. Like he's kind of like showing me his jet. Like he's dressed up decently. Like he looks like he would be a member of a country club or something to that extent. Not over the top, but certainly not a bum. So he's just kind of bringing me in the middle here.
Well, he was real clean cut, but he was not a bum. And but now when you say the country club, the first gentleman I thought you were coming in with to start with, that I did date for a while, and that passed in the early 2000s. Now, he was a member of the country club, and he was very
that's funny.
clean-cut and
Okay.
he was member of the country club, and he was very
that's funny.
clean-cut.
Okay.
Very,
It's funny.
okay,
I think
so,
that.
yeah.
Okay, got it. I think they might be double linking in here to get a message in for one. So that's just their way of both kind of.
Awesome.
It's funny how Spirit will do that sometimes to make the best use of the time because they know it's short. So that's their way of kind of joining in together. So they're both just here to acknowledge that. It's funny, right? When you said that, they split apart because they were standing in line. I'm like, what are you guys doing? They know my rules. I say one at a time, and they just broke with the rule, but that's fine. We'll go with it. So let me just ask specifically: do you have a daughter or a niece? They're making reference to this. I feel like there's it feels like there's a younger woman that you have a familiar relationship that's here, not in spirit. Do you understand this?
No, I don't.
Okay, they're bringing up a girl. This girl would be here. This girl would be here. She's not in past. They're bringing this up.
She hasn't.
See her.
Okay.
No, she's here.
I do have a lot of nieces.
Okay, for some reason they're bringing up one. Nope, here on this, they're still here. They're bringing this up. I feel like there's some things, one of them in particular, she's switching schools or there's something going on with schools or something. I feel like she might be going to school, but they're bringing this up as well. Let me just see if there's anything specific. Because sometimes when you ask,
I do have a
you don't really have any. Yeah.
I do have a niece
going
in
to
college that was thinking about switching colleges closer up this way.
Yeah, that's just their way. Yeah, that's just their way of bringing up, hey, we're around, we see what's going on. It's kind of, it's interesting, and I'll make one point here. A lot of times when I tell people, when that come for the readings, I'm like, make sure you have an intent, because if not, you're going to get a bunch of like, hey, yeah, we saw your niece is going to school. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of funny because Spirit's like, yeah, and that's okay. Maybe sometimes it's just like, hey, let me know you see what's going on in my life, and that's exactly what you're getting. So. In particular,
what I had in mind? The gentleman that was a member of the country club that I dated, he actually, we were very close, and he died suddenly with no warning of a heart attack from an injury. And I was just wondering if you see, he's come in quite a few times before. The other gentleman's never come in before, which surprised me. But this one has. His name's Wesley. And I was wondering if he has any messages for me as far as me meeting anyone new or relationship. It's funny. Before you said that, they were kind of wanting to bring up the relationship thing, but I felt like it was one of those things that you weren't really pulling into that energy space to ask the question out loud. But since you are, that you're kind of giving the light. Would it be true that there was a little bit of a heartbreak that came out of the relationship with him? I feel like he may have hurt your heart, or there was something where he hurt you. Do you understand this? No.
For whatever reason, he's saying that he feels like there's something where within the relationship he may have not always been there for you. So that's like, he just wants to acknowledge that. So a little bit of a heartbreak associated to it. If it doesn't serve you, don't take it, but he's acknowledging this. So, but I think he's more acknowledging it.
Broke my heart when he left.
Yeah, so that's,
he's
he's saying he's sorry he broke your heart, and so for whatever that connects with you, that he's just wanting to acknowledge that and say that.
I was just referring to his passing. We were always good friends. We were always very close.
Yeah. Let's see. And Tina, feel free if you're getting anything to jump in. He's it's funny because, go ahead. I'm going to sit with him for a minute and to see what he has anything specific on that. And
okay,
because I feel like he wants to tell me a little bit of a story, so I'm going to go with him on this one. So feel free to jump in.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Hi, Cindy. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. So I'm picking up on a female energy, and she feels very motherly to me. I'm trying to figure out if she is your mother or if she's your grandmother in spirit. And she's the type of, let me just describe her personality. Okay. And I could feel her. It's so funny because I was working earlier and I was vacuuming, and I could feel the spirit with me earlier. And she said to me, there's going to be somebody calling in with, with a soft voice, soft spoken. And it's like, as soon as you called in, I'm like, that's it, that's her. So it's so funny. So the personality type is what she's showing me is what she's showing me is she's pointing, right? And she's just kind of like one of those personalities, like, I see what you're doing, and so you can't get anything past her. And that's how she's making me feel is, and she's very sweet disposition. But on the other hand, she's definitely aware and very sharp as to what's going on is how she's making me feel. Usually when spirit shows me, the finger pointing, they have a little bit of humor too and funniness to that. And so that's what she's bringing in. I do see her with the other two males in spirit. And so as I was tuning in with what Heather was saying, they brought her in. So she's standing in the middle of the two of them, and they do have their arms around her. The other thing she's bringing up is the number 9, so I don't know what that's referring to. And I could hear the month of September. I just kept hearing September, the name Jerry. And so I don't know the connections with that, but that's what she's referring to. She also shows me a necklace, and on the necklace is, those necklaces are very, very long, and they have like a watch on the end of it, as the charm. It's actually like a little clock. And that's what she's showing me. And I'm trying to tune in and see. She's not giving me a name. I'm not hearing any name, but just the personality is what I was getting. And I do feel her passing, I'm having a little bit hard time breathing. I'm feeling it in the chest area. So I don't know if this is with, a heart attack or something with the lungs, with the breathing, but I am getting that, from her. And so I just wanted to, see if that resonates with you. It's what I'm picking up.
Yes. I mean, I don't know who the Jerry is or the number 9.
Okay.
But yes, I know which grandmother you're talking about, and my mother hasn't passed. But
okay. So it's on your mother's side?
That would be on my mother's side. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. And she's giving me the nod now. So okay, fantastic.
That's interesting. Wow. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead, Heather. Go ahead.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because I love it. So basically that was kind of like the double link, right? Because he came in and he stopped, and then all like bringing in the grandmother. That's awesome. Yeah, I was like, why are you stopping on me now? I understand now. So he was trying to be a polite gentleman and let her come in. So that's fascinating. He wants to bring up, I feel like, I don't know if you're going down memory lane a little bit lately, Cindy, if that's something that resonates with you, but I feel like there's a little bit of nostalgia coming back for you. I feel like there may be some, it's almost like dipping into future versus like, or wants versus desires. I feel like there's this feeling of like, I feel like there's a little bit, like you're a little bit torn in terms of what you want out of a relationship. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Because I feel like there's this thing, like I just want to be with someone who is, kind of more mature and laid back, and just will sit there and watch the sunrise, sunset with me, and just kind of be there, be my partner. But then there's this other side about wanting to have someone that's a little bit more adventurous, and so it's just almost like this internal conflict within yourself about like what you really want out of a relationship. Does that make sense, what I'm describing there? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny because you're kind of like you're trying to, you're kind of like going through the laws of attraction here, right? So you create it in your mind and you visualize it, and it's almost like that it becomes that in another dimension, and it's just waiting to be pulled in. But you haven't sort of formed up what your wants are, so it hasn't been created yet, or that opportunity hasn't presented itself. I feel like it's one of those things that's kind of the rational mind trying to reason with the heart's desire. So put out the intent of what you want, and you don't have to like, well, but most guys are this way or they're that way. They're not in between. Just kind of, it's almost like putting down the wish list of what you want with no rational mind at play, and just going with that. Because I actually feel like there may be someone within your space that kind of fits the profile of who that would be, but on the outward appearances, that it doesn't immediately provoke you. Does that make sense? It feels like there may be someone that you have an interesting like relationship with that you want to pull into more of a stronger relationship. Do you have this in your space now? Do you understand this?
No. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I've been
that might be coming soon.
pretty isolated for the last couple of years, so I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nobody
I feel like this
at all.
person. Okay. I feel like this person is around. So whether or not they're like, and when I say around, I mean in proximity. You may not like be, seeing them on a regular basis, but I feel like their physical energy is in the close proximity to yours. It's just a matter of aligning the two energies together. So that's what I see. So, so hopefully that helps.
And maybe that's the name Jerry that I'm picking up on.
Oh, there you go.
You never know.
Oh,
yeah. And
maybe.
It's so
That could
funny. It could be. And I'm seeing a romantic partner, somebody that's very charming, that likes to dance in the rain, that type of partner for you. And that's what I'm picking up on.
Oh, that's amazing.
Most
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think it's almost like you can I'm sure there's plenty of movies about this where you kind of pass your soulmate, and then all of a sudden when you're in that space of readiness, you see them for the first time, but you've really seen them so many more times than that. So that's interesting. Yeah. Well,
you'll
good
have
luck
to call
you.
back in and let us know.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you so much. That was
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Good luck to you.
Ladies.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oops. Okay. Let's see. Our next caller, area code 216. What is your name and where are you calling from, please?
Hello. My name is Sharon. I'm calling from Ohio. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Wonderful. Okay.
Very good. And what can we do for you? Do you have any specific questions? Anything you want guidance on?
I do. I made a positive change this year. I changed careers, and I want to see what you see with that. If I'm going to excel, the probation period isn't over yet. There's a lot of competition with two women I'm around. It's me and another man. We were both hired at the same time, but there's a lot of competition. Do you think that's going to subside? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's interesting because I don't know if I don't know you in general, but I feel like, is this putting you in a position where you have to sort of step into a little bit of your masculinity? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? One of the girls made a comment today, not in general, out of the air. I think she wanted me and the other man to hear. Well, when I started here 9 years ago, no one helped me. That's what she said. They don't want to help. See what I'm saying? We're going to be put in training in January. They started us early because they didn't have time to put us through training. So we're learning on the job. There's so many. It's accounting. There's a lot of systems you have to learn, and there's a lot to learn. But they just don't want to put the effort into it, if that makes sense. We're winging it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and there's something very and you. It feels like. First of all, absolutely, I feel like you'll be good. I feel like your biggest issue will be the dynamics of people, not necessarily. I feel like they're showing me. It's interesting. They're showing me the horse blinders that you really have to put those on. So like how horse blinders work, that if they they stay forward, they keep looking straight, but if they put the blinders on, because if they get distracted, then they'll go off course, so to speak, and don't do that.
Yeah. Once I learned it's a great job. Yeah. Just learning it. Once I'm learned, it's a great job. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just getting there. I know, you know what I mean? Oh, but go on.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that for you. And one of the things I find, so when I talk about masculine and feminine energies, oftentimes in my day job, I have to step into my masculine energy, and this isn't good, bad, or different. It's just different. And so oftentimes when I'm in that masculine space, I have to be more assertive, I have to be more domineering, and I have to just present myself in a certain way and be, just to be able to get things done. So I feel like that's where this job is putting you, in that space. It's not a bad thing. It just is, right? But sometimes people that are not comfortable maybe going into that space will acknowledge that. And so that may have been the comment. There may have been some indirect comment towards that. But you're doing you, and I feel good about it. Like, it's one of those things. Keep the blinders on. You're good. Don't worry about anyone else.
Now, I know. It's a great. Now, the man that's my boss's initial M, is he happy so far with my performance? Because I'm still going to be put through training in January. But is he okay? I cannot figure him out. He's like bipolar.
Let me see. I don't know. And Tina, if you're getting anything, I do.
I'm picking up all kinds of things. So the first thing that I'm shown, and I just want you to say yes or no to this, is did you leave another job recently, not really that long ago, where you were really unhappy in that job with your coworkers?
Oh, yes. I was miserable. I changed careers, yes.
Okay.
I'm back to what I like to do. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that's what they're showing me. You are absolutely going to be excelling is what I'm hearing. I just wanted that validation from you first because I could just see your unhappiness. Right now, I feel your energy and you're really content. Just because of your past experiences, though, what Spirit's saying is it's not going to repeat itself. Okay, so what you experienced in the previous job, it's not going to happen to you again. Yes. And the M, I'm not getting a full name. I want to say Michael for some reason, but this is okay.
There you go.
All right, and all right,
Who
wonderful.
Know Come on.
I know it. But when I see the name, when I'm channeling and see the name, and what it does is it actually lights up like a light for me, and so that's what I was seeing. It's going to be what he's doing. He is very, very happy with you, but he is definitely looking at everything. There's more for you to learn, but you are going to be just fine. And please don't let those past experiences make you feel less than, okay, because you are where you need to be. It's going to be very fulfilling for you and just really good for your soul. So just do the best that you can. Enjoy living in the now and in the moments and try not to worry. When you get that feeling, you can certainly, do a small meditation.
I know.
Yeah, do a small meditation, set that intention out to your spirit team because they're giving me thumbs up, and you got a lot of them there because they're showing me an army standing right behind you, which means they have your back.
Do you think in about 3 months, I'd say 3 months, because that's still not there. Do you think I ask them, my guides, if I will be comfortable at my job? Will it be in the next 1 to 3 months?
Full tingle, so I'm getting it both on my left side and right side, which indicates yes for me. It's a big, it goes all the way down to my feet, from my crown chakra to my root chakra. And so, just keep doing your best. And yes,
I know.
I am picking up that information from them, and that's all. And enjoy your new coworkers because they're really a great team to work with as well, is what they're showing me.
So they'll get better. They're going to warm up to me. That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, is this was there like a 6-month probation or something associated with this job? What's the 6?
It's 6 months. 6 months, yeah, maybe possibly even 8. Yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing 6 months probation is for this job. And so have you already been there for 3 months?
Yeah, not quite.
Okay, about 3 months. So yeah, that sounds like it aligns to what she's getting there. An additional 3. I see a total of about 6 months probation. And I have to tell you, the question you were asking earlier regarding him, it's not a bipolar energy as so much as the fact that I feel like he may be more of a traditional type of manager in the sense where he feels like I think he instinctively knows that you're going to be good, and he knows the certain people that are going to do well, but he also has to put up a little bit of a front. So, so he's just he's kind of playing the management game. it's one of those things that sometimes it's kind of the old school management style to where it's like I've got to make you think that, keep you on your toes type of thing. And that's all it is. I think he actually really likes you. And I feel like there's going to be something like she was saying, when the switch occurs, that once you're in, and you're going to be part of like the, the inner circle, so to speak. So I see it being a good thing. Absolutely. Same thing you said.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So,
I know.
Yeah. So good luck to you. Yeah, no stresses. It's all good, definitely. So good luck to you, Sharon, and let us know how it goes.
Thank you.
All right.
You're so welcome.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, and let's see. I think we have time for about one more caller, and I'm going to go ahead and bring them in here. We've got area code 515. And what is your name and where are you calling from, please?
Hi, it's JJ from Illinois. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, thank you. And hi, JJ. So what can we help you with?
So I have a strong connection with a guy whose initials C, and we have been friends. However, I kind of put up a boundary earlier this year and kind of told him how I felt about him, but how I couldn't cross the line with him for certain reasons. And I haven't heard from him. Do you have an idea of how he took that or what he was thinking and if we were ever going to speak again?
Okay. So immediately, it's interesting what I was getting, and it was before you said the boundaries. I don't know the extent of what that means, but it feels like there was something that you had kind of put out regarding kind of like, I want to say the word forbidden fruit type of thing. Like I feel like there might be something, I don't know why I want to use that word, but it feels like there might be something about it that it feels like it's so wrong, but it feels so good type of thing. Do you understand that? I don't know why I want to bring this correlating to the relationship.
Yeah, I just felt that we're not in the same headspace of what we're looking for, and I didn't want to cross that line and get hurt for wanting something more than something just like surface or casual.
Yeah, is this man?
So remain friends.
Okay, got it. Is he like is he kind of a busy businessman, or what's the?
He's busy
why do
with
I
work.
feel? Okay.
He's in law enforcement.
Yeah, I feel like he's got a lot going on, and there's a lot of like structure and stuff that he works through. Do you understand this? It feels like there's something within him that he's very. And I also feel like there may be a little bit of. It's hard to sort of penetrate the walls within that space. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I know he's busy with work and kids, and I think he's been hurt before in the past, so he gets involved with women that, are not the type of women that you'd bring home to mom, women that can't hurt him, you understand?
And that are unavailable as well. Like I feel like there's something, so it's like, and I feel like there may have been something where you presented something other than other than that, and that scared him off, or not scared him off. It's a little scary, right? Because you're actually, there's an opportunity there. So, does he have two kids? Okay, why is there two of one, and why am they're bringing up two in particular.
2 girls and 1 boy. 2 are in college and 1's in high school.
Got it. Okay, they'll usually break it up. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, you said 2 are in college and 1 is in high school?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I just, I don't know, I don't feel a finality to it, but I feel like it feels that it's one of those things where it becomes a time and space type of thing, right, around the energy of when the timing is right. So that's kind of what I'm getting with it. I don't know, Tina, if you're getting anything different, but or along those lines, but that's what I'm feeling around the energy with it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm feeling, when she first said it, I definitely saw a wall, just a dark wall. You show up here in my visuals. And I also feel like he's closed off. The energy is just closed off. And so he just doesn't, it feels to me like he just doesn't have the same sensitivities as you. And so he's more selfish is what I'm getting off of that. And that's what I'm feeling. And so I pulled a card for you because I just wasn't getting anything else from that. I am feeling that it's not final, like a friendship continuation, but I am feeling new beginnings for you, and to pursue that for yourself, because I just feel that, for the alignment of you to be more compatible, with somebody else, I just don't feel that compatibility between the two energies here. You are very sweet, very giving, and very kind, and I just feel his energy is just completely opposite of that, where it's more closed off and selfish. And you're just a very giving, just a giving soul. So I feel, like I said, that the card that I pulled up was New Beginnings, and so I'm going to just let you know what that, that I pulled that card for you. And so just, to keep that in mind, because the thing of it is that, at the end of the day, we want to feel good in our lives, and we want to, whether we're alone or with a partner, we want to feel good, and, just be mindful of that, what energy makes you feel good, because, you do have to put yourself first at the end of the day. And that's all I'm picking up on that. I don't know if you're picking up anything else, Heather.
Yeah, the wall, I just kept saying, it was funny because I was like, what's behind the wall? And I wasn't it's like, nope, he's not doing it. So The other thing I'll say is, do you have, there's a grandmother energy that's stepping forward. I feel like this is a very sweet grandmother, and I feel like she wants to bring you comfort. I feel like she's not heavier set. She's kind of more thinnish, because I usually see the proximity in the wrist, and I feel like she's somewhat thin of a grandmother, but she's giving you comfort as well. And so it's interesting. So I feel like I actually feel like, is your mother's mother passed? I feel she's putting her energy in that space, so I feel like it's more of your mother's mother. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Were you close to her, or was there, like, because I feel like she just wants to comfort you right now a lot.
Yes.
Okay. She's literally, she's sort of walking away from him and giving you comfort and a sense of her energy to you, because she knows that there's something about this is hard on you. So she's like, she literally is saying no words. She's just putting her hand on your shoulder and saying it'll all be all right, and you don't understand right now, but you will later. That sometimes people that they point you in a direction that's other than what you wanted to go for your best intent. And so it feels like there's something to where you, and she's giving me chills right now, that it's oftentimes, when one door closes or something doesn't quite work out, and things work out even better than you would have thought. So I actually feel like there's a better fit that's coming for you, and I feel like this better fit. And she's saying he will take care of you like you deserve to be taken care of, because there's something where it feels like you take care of people, but you haven't always gotten that reciprocated. And I feel like there's something about this man that will step in, that will give you that love and that respect that you deserve. And are you an outdoorsy? Do you like outdoorsy, or what's the deal with the outdoorsy or something?
Yes.
Okay, because this man is like going to pick you up, and you guys are going to go out and you're going to go explore. And I don't know if there's boats or something there, but I almost see him like pulling up in his truck with his boat and saying, "Let's go! Like, we're going to go do this." So I just feel the energy of a new man coming in. That's going to be a better energy. Again, I think it's that lesson, that opportunity. But your grandma just wants to give you love, because I feel she knows that your heart's hurting on this situation, and she's just giving you love. So just know that that's So hopefully that helps.
When this man comes in?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that the next question? Gosh, timing is always hard. Sometimes
Sure.
you'll show me seasons as a definitive. For some reason, I want to say 6 to 7. That's just what I want to say, 6 to 7 months. So that that's just immediately what I got.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing the summer months. I'm seeing the sun and the beachy scene, and everything is very warm around. So I'm picking up on that. So they're showing me the season to be the summertime.
Well, there you go.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Anything
Awesome.
I should be aware of to recognize them?
It's funny, right before you asked that question, your grandmother said something, and I feel like it's not about recognizing things, it's about doing things, and it's for you to work through. Do you journal, or do you often, she's making me feel like there's some things that you need to start journaling or capturing your thoughts and emotions. I feel like you're working through some things. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Okay, she's saying you need to do that because you know that for you to be ready for this next space and for the true love that you deserve, there's some self-love that you have to give, and there's some things that you need to work through. So she's saying that very loud and clear. But she answered your question before you asked. Work on that, and it will come, but it's going to take some time. So, and for whatever reason, she's bringing up Valentine's Day. I don't know what this is. She's bringing up Valentine's Day. I don't know if she passed around that time or if there was something significant for you around Valentine's Day, but she's bringing up Valentine's Day. I don't know if it's one of those things I always wanted a Valentine, or I feel like there's something, for whatever reason, she's bringing that up as well.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but
yeah. Yeah, just spend this time with yourself and really, the journaling I think will help, and it's really going inward because trust me, after this man comes into your life, you're not gonna have a lot of time like that. So embrace the space,
Okay.
So yeah, definitely. Well, good luck, JJ. Let us know certainly how it goes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You too. Okay. So, are you still with me, Tina? Are you on?
I'm still here. Yep.
Perfect. Okay. All righty. Okay. So I think that's it. We're at time here. Are you good to? Are we good to break? I think. I don't know if you want to go one more, or I'm feeling I could start to. My energy usually pulls back a little bit towards the end, and it's oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's pulling back. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, you got to honor that, right? So
that's right.
So I just want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Really appreciate it. And Tina, you were amazing. I seriously, I know why I love your energy now. I just feel so aligned with you. So it was such a pleasure having you on. I just really love it.
Thank you so much. Oh, I love your energy, too.
Absolutely.
You are amazing.
This
is fun. This is fun. And I'm so glad we could help the callers. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's about. And so just for everyone, so you're aware, so again, getting a hold of Tina, you can check out our website at messagesofcomfort.com, and my website is heatherfallona.com. And I think I know I've got a Facebook presence as well, so certainly I always post information about the shows out there as well. And then I think, Tina, you're on there as well. So perfect. Well, thanks everyone again, and have a great night.